Hear your favorite NFL legends sharing their stories and insights every week right here on Thursday Night Tailgate with Chris Mascaro and Bob Lazari. Take it away, guys.
There's no way out.
All right, now back with us on the Kyvan Foods guest line to help us go through our 5-star picks of the week is former Patriots Pro Bowl running back Tony Collins. Hey, Tony, a little anxious tonight, Tony?
Oh, my God. My dog is too. How you guys doing?
Good,
all right,
Tony. So, Tony, you started off the season telling us the Patriots were going to go 16-0. And then they lost, and then you said 15-1, and now they lost again. So, are you convinced? Are you still convinced they can run the table from here, or with that defense, do you want to revise it down a little bit?
I think I'm going to revise it down a little bit because we got the worst defense in the league right now. I don't know what's going on, man. We can score points, but we can't stop anybody. So it's. We got to fix it. I'm pretty sure we're in good hands. If anybody can fix it, I believe Belichick can. So I'm just waiting for him to fix it.
Right. All right, guys. So last week, let's run down how we did last week, and then we'll get into our 5-star picks for this week. And looking over everybody's picks, we all correctly picked the Steelers over the Ravens, and we all had the Chiefs over the Redskins. We were all wrong with the Patriots over the Panthers. Bob, you and I were right on the Broncos over the Raiders. Tony took Oakland, and I was the only one to take the Texans over the Titans. So last week I was 4-1. Bob, you were 3-2. Tony, you were 2-3. And on the season, I am 9-6. Bob, you're 8-7. Tony got some work to do. You're 6-9. So
wow.
Early on, you're down 3 games, but a long season, lot of football
long
to
way
be played.
Yeah.
So let's get into our Week 5 picks. I know you are. We're going to make you feel it. I promise you that. So, Tony, this week we're going to start off with tonight's game. You got your 2-2 Patriots at the 2-1 Bucks. The Patriots are a 6-point road favorite. The over/under is 55. It's currently 0-0, so no advantage yet so far. So, what do you think, Tony?
Well, I can't go against my team, man. I just don't know what's going on that defensive side. Like I said before, I think we have the worst defense in the league right now. But Belichick's going to fix it, and I think Brady will put up enough points tonight so we can pull this off. So I'm going to go with the Patriots, but I'm thinking we're going to have to score 34 points. So Patriots 34, Tampa Bay 31.
All right, Bob, what do you think?
I'm going to stick with Tony also, Chris. I mean, if we pick the Patriots every week the rest of the year, we're probably going to do okay in our picks because they're going to finish pretty good this year. But I think Tony's right. The defense, they have to get, and we talked about it before, Chris, they have to start rushing the quarterback. I mean, if they don't do that, that's when you're going to hear a lot of bad things about the secondary, which is not all true when you have no pass rush. They have none. But I still think they're going to score enough tonight to get this. I can't picture them under 500 at any time this year. So they're going to win this game. I'm going to say it's really close, though. 28-27, Patriots.
Wow. So, yeah, you guys have talked about, how bad the defense is, and they are. They're 26th in the league against the pass, and, they're 31st in average points allowed per game. They're giving up 32. It's interesting. The offense is averaging 32.3 points per game. The defense is giving up 32. Right, so sounds like a 500 team to me, like I was saying at the top of the show when you and I were talking about it, Bob. Tampa Bay's offense, guys, 3rd in the league in passing yards, so they're averaging nearly 24 points a game on the wings of that. So again, if you've got Tampa Bay Bucks, players, I'm hoping you got them in your fantasy league, lineup this week because, as Tony and Bob have pointed out, there's going to be a lot of points scored tonight. I fully expect Bucks players to do pretty darn well. The Bucks defense is 5th against the run, but the Patriots aren't a run-first offense anyway. They're the 2nd worst against the pass. So you got the 2 worst passing defenses playing against one another tonight. So I expect a lot of passing, a lot of points, just like both of you guys. But you know what? I'm taking the Bucks. I think the Bucks win this game. I think Patriot Nation goes crazy, and everything up in New England is in disarray. after tomorrow, starting tomorrow morning with what's going on with the Patriots. I think they go under 500. I'm taking the Bucs. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game just like all the others. I got the Bucs winning 36-33. All right, our second game, fellas, is the 2-2 Seahawks going up to the surprising 3-1 Rams. Just talked about this with Ken Hamlin a moment ago. The Rams are a 1-point home favorite, and the over-under is 46.5 in this one. Tony, can the Rams make a big early statement and take a 2-game lead over the Seahawks in the NFC West?
I mean, I think they can. I mean, the Seahawks offense struggles a lot, man, and it takes them a little while to get going. And with that being the case, I like the way the Rams offense is playing. They've always had a good defense. And so I'm going to go with the Rams. I think the Rams can pull this off and take that 2-game lead over them. So I'm going with the Rams, 24-10.
24-10. All right, Bob, what do you think?
All these games are tough this week, guys. I mean, Seattle scored half of their season points last week. So Tony's right. I mean, their offense has struggled. I just think their defense is too good to not make a statement, especially against a team like this, who is the highest scoring team in football. I think Seattle's defense goes in there. Pete Carroll returns to the Coliseum with that on his mind, and somehow Seattle plays incredible defense and scores just enough to win this game. I think it's going to be an ugly one, guys. One of those 21-17 games. Seattle wins this one.
All right. And, like I said, I've been completely shocked by this Rams team. Never would have guessed they'd be 3-1. Or leading the league, by the way, fellas, averaging 35.5 points per game. They're actually ahead of the Patriots in average points scored per game. Never would have guessed that. Jared Goff is 8th amongst quarterbacks in passing yards. He's thrown 7 touchdowns, only 1 pick. Gurley is 2nd in the league in rushing yards. So their offense has been stout. It's surprising. Their defense is what's been, any sort of downfall that they've had. They're 30th against the run, which is good news, for guys like me who have Eddie Lacy in our fantasy leagues. He should do well. But, the Rams defense was supposed to be their strength, and it's actually turned out to be their weakness. So, hey, look, the Seahawks defense is good. I expect them to clamp down, like you mentioned, Bob, on Gurley. And, defense is a differentiator in games like this. So I'm with both. I'm with you, Bob. I'm going to take Seattle. I think their defense gets it done. They get it over the Rams. I got it, Seattle 27-20. Our third game, fellas, is the 3-1 Packers going to the 2-2 Cowboys. The Cowboys are a 2-point home favorite. The over-under is 52. So here's another team, Tony, that I think we're surprised is at level 500 right now, and the Cowboys. So who do you think wins this game?
Another tough game, man. It's tough to go against Aaron Rodgers, but I just don't think his offensive line is going to be able to protect him, and that's going to be a problem for him. I just see Cowboys controlling the ball, running the ball well, and their offense scoring some points. It'll be a close game, but I think the Cowboys can pull this off. 27-24 Cowboys.
All right. Bob, who are you going with?
This is one of those games that's almost a coin flipping type thing, but I see the Packers having a better overall season at the end, but I think one of their losses could be in this game, guys. I just think the Cowboys kind of been in neutral. They're like the Patriots. I don't see them at any point in the season going under 500, which this game would do to them. I think Prescott steps up pretty good in this. Elliott starts getting his head on straight, and that with Des Bryant also. I just think they're going to have to play a complete game, and they finally do it against the Green Bay defense that's still not that good. So I think some points will be scored like they always are in this game. So how about Cowboys 30-27?
All right. And Tony, I'm with you on the logic. I think the Packers are just a little too beat up right now. Ty Montgomery is nursing some broken ribs. Devontae Adams, is likely out with a concussion after the hit that he suffered last week. Their defense is 5th in the league against the pass, but, Ezekiel Elliott will be happy to see that they're 19th against the run. So I think the Cowboys offense is going to have enough success on the ground, and they'll outpace Aaron Rodgers because of the limited offense that he's going to have around him. So, particularly, trying to run the ball for the Packers. So I'm going to take the Cowboys as well, fellas. I think it's a little lower scoring. I got the Cowboys 24-20. Our fourth game this week is the 4-0 Chiefs going to the 2-2 Texans. The Chiefs are a 1-point road favorite. The over-under is 45. Tony, who do you think comes out on top here?
I tell you what, man. Texas are playing some good football. Their rookie quarterback is playing well. Probably. I think was a surprise. I didn't think he was going to play that well early this early in the season, but he is. And Houston's always has a good defense, but close game again. But I got to go with the Texans, man, winning 24-21.
All right. Bob, what do you think?
The Texans, it's amazing to me, Chris, that Kansas City is also probably known more for their offense, but they've given up less points than Houston, who many of us thought were the best defensive team in the league going into the season. So that's an interesting thing. But Watson, he's given some juice into that franchise, guys, and I'm just going to pick Houston in this game because they're the home team. I think Houston plays a good offensive game. They can slow down guys like Hunt and Kelsey and Hill, and I think they slow them down just enough to eke out. This is another one of those ugly games you can see happening, but Watson does just enough. How about 24-20, Houston over Kansas City?
All right. And boys, I like the Texans too. Deshaun Watson has really, to your point, Bob, given this offense a shot in the arm. They hung 57 right on the Titans last week. Who would have guessed that? In his last two games, Watson has thrown for a little under 600 yards, 6 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. The Texans defense are 600 yards allowed, 9th against the pass, sort of in the middle of the pack in average points given up. But, they're everything you look about what the Texans are doing over the last couple of weeks is positive. Now, it's hard to discount anything the Chiefs are doing, right? They're putting up 30.5 points a game. They're the number one rushing offense in the league, and Alex Smith has yet to throw a pick yet this season. He and Tom Brady are the only 2 starting quarterbacks who have yet to throw a pick. So it's hard to argue against the Chiefs, but I just they're not going to go undefeated, obviously, and there's just something about this Texans team. I think Deshaun Watson is a special kind of guy, right? I think he is, to your point, Bob, giving some juice to not only this team, but to the city. And, there's something about a team rallying around its community after a devastating event. We saw it with the Saints following Katrina. Bob, we saw it with the Red Sox following the Boston Marathon bombing. And I think that there's something about, Deshaun Watson being a special player and, them rallying around the city of Houston following the hurricane there. So I'm going with the Texans too. I like them in the upset. Higher scoring than what you guys had. I got 30-27. Our last game this week is the 2-2 Cardinals going to the 3-1 Eagles. The Eagles are a 6.5-point home favorite. The over/under is 45. Tony, can the Eagles get a win and stay atop the NFC East?
I think they can. The Cardinals struggled with the 49ers last week, man, and that's not a team that you should be struggling with because 49ers don't put up a lot of points. I know they got a decent defense, but, playing in Philly and, they traveling from the West Coast all the way to the East Coast, I'm pretty sure they're probably already there to get established, but I just don't see them putting up enough points. Philly's offense is great. Their defense is playing well. I'm going to go with Philly, and I think Philly is going to kind of mess them up a little bit, 37-13.
Oh, there's a Tony Collins blowout special of the week. Thought we were going to go without one this week, but there you go. Way to come back, Tony. Bob, what do you think?
I agree with Tony. I like what Philly's doing there. I mean, they're putting together a kind of a very well-balanced offense, guys. LeGarrette Blount and that Zach Ertz is he's cementing himself as one of the best tight ends in the league. And you got a young quarterback that is minimizing the mistakes. They just got too much going. And Christian, you and I are probably down stock on Arizona for the rest of our lives. So every game they go into, I'm looking at the other team. And here on the road, I'm going to go with the Eagles at Lincoln Financial. I'm going to say the Eagles win this game 30-17.
30-17. All right, yes. And Bob, you're right. I've sworn off the Cardinals. They burned both of us far too many times the last couple of seasons, so there's no way I'm picking them to win, despite, how well, Carson Palmer's, off to a good start. He's second in the league in passing. Larry Fitz still playing well. He's, got 4 catches of 20-plus yards this season. He's near the top of the league in yak yards after the catch. So, but I refuse to believe in them. So, I say, they're gonna shut the Cardinals down. The Eagles defense is gonna shut them down. So I'm with you guys. I'm taking the Eagles to win this game. I've got them winning at 26-20. Tony, before we let you go, remind our listeners about the great things you're doing to help kids go to college.
TonyCollinsFoundation.com, TonyCollinsSpeaks.com. Go to the website, buy a book, leave a donation. Every book that we sell, every donation that we get goes to help a kid go off to college.
Great stuff as always, Tony. We look forward to catching up with you again next week, my friend. In between now and then, all the best to you and your family.
Have a good week,
guys.
Tony.
You have a good one.
Take care, Tony. That's former Patriots Pro Bowl running back Tony Collins with our 5-star picks of the week. We got our next guest, Mark Littell, hanging on the line. We'll get to Mark on the other side of this quick station break.